Doris Burke. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Millsap at power forward with Horford at the center. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Teague, and it's Korver in at the 3 spot. Here's Gasol, and that one falls coming off Conley's feet. Gasol's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Grizzlies. Clark thinking back to when Mike Conley was drafted 4th back in the 2007 draft, 4th overall. He wasn't an instant starter, but he has gotten better every season.
Yeah, it took him a little while. I mean, he was only a freshman coming out of college back in 2007. A slow start. He had to fight for minutes, grind away. Grizzlies kept trying to get his replacement, it appeared, but he stayed the course, and now he's their franchise point guard.
You know, you think back, Grizzlies contemplated trading Mike Conley early on in his career, and I tell you what, aren't they glad that cooler heads prevailed? I mean, his rise has helped propel them to one of the top teams in the Western Conference.
Shot clock at 5. Randolph can't hit. Grizzlies on defense. Schroeder kicks to Millsap. He draws iron on the dunk. A little over a minute gone here in the first quarter. Pass to Gasol. Out to the wing. 3-pointer. Another miss by Conley.
And Mike Conley may be the best player in the NBA never to make an all-star team. I really feel like it's unfair to call him underrated now, because if you go around our league, all teams respect what he's been able to do in Memphis.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
And the officials whistle a foul on the shot. The bucket's good. He'll go to the line. First trip to the free throw line for him tonight.
Well, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Just look at what a sniper he is from long range. He's got such an unusual skill for a big fella.
Passes it to Gasol. The dish now to Barnes, to the middle. And Conley gets it to go. The assist by Barnes. It was pretty obvious, I thought, Greg, that Budenholzer was the deserved coach of the year. I mean, Steve Kerr, there are a lot of good names you could put in there. But what he's done taking the Hawks to the top of the East, a few saw that coming.
I agree with you. I mean, he has transformed this Hawks team over the past couple years, has a wonderful team game. And, you know, obviously a lot of influence coming from Pop when he was with San Antonio, but he is really, I think, redefining how the game of basketball is being played at the pro level.
And here is Conley after Kyle Korver hitting the 3, and it's Conley penetrating. Good work defensively by Horford.
And he thought he had a clear path to the hoop, but the defense didn't give up on that play and cut him off.
Schroeder kicks to Korver. They get the rebound. Beyond the arc. For the 3. Good. Korver's got 6.
This looks like a pregame shoot-around with all the threes they're allowing.
I don't know. There might be more defense in the warm-ups. Right now, these are just shooting game shots.
Now, here's Gasol. Back to Barnes. Out of bounds. Atlanta takes possession.
Man, I don't know what happened right there. He just basically walked out of bounds.
The Hawks leading by 6. Outside Teague. He feeds it to Millsap. Back to Teague. Hawks passing it around. Lets it go from deep. The Grizzlies pull it in. Just over 3.5 minutes gone here in the first. And it's Conley penetrating. That's a 2 from Barnes. Horford with the rebound.
Not really sure what he was thinking about on that shot. That is not high IQ basketball.
Not at all. I mean, he shouldn't even have considered taking that shot. Just a poor choice there. He just has not been able to get into that groove yet, guys. But as a whole, it hasn't affected them too much.
Here's Allen. The shot no good. Korver with the defensive effort. And it's the Hawks ball. They're on a 12-4 run right now. Schroeder with the ball. Conley picks him up. 3-pointer. And that one's good. And it's 6 points for Horford.
And, you know, the Hawks were great from beyond the arc, but it wasn't just one person. They did a great job of creating a space and really passing up good shots for great ones. And I think that's the mark of a true team.
And some changes here for the Grizzlies. Lance Stephenson's checked in for Barnes. Carter comes in for Tony Allen. And it's Farmar in for Mike Conley. Then for the Hawks, Mike Scott's checked in for Millsap. And it's Kent Bazemore in for Teague.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds, and they look strong here in the early going.
Now here's Horford. He has 6. Scott dishes to Bazemore, and that basket pushes the lead to double digits.
And the defense looks soft early on. They've got to sum it up a little more sense of urgency.
Yeah, they've got to do a little more to disrupt their offensive rhythm, too.
Carter against Korver. Here's Farmar. That's in there. Carter with the assist.
Really aggressive play there, taking it to the rack against the big fella.
You know, Greg, aggressiveness is really the only option when you're on the wrong side of the size equation.
Korver, no luck.
It has not been an easy quarter for him, at least offensively speaking.
Jacks up a 3. The shot misses. Now the Grizzlies take it the other way. Now Farmar. And there's the pass to Gasol. Here's Farmar. Kicks it out to Stevenson. Outside Randolph. Here's Carter. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Well, you have to respect the way Vince Carter has just aged gracefully. A superstar in his day, Clark. He knew his game so well. Even in his late 30s, he's still getting it done.
Got a lot that he brings to the table still, Kevin. I mean, not just to score. He can pass, defend, rebound, and not to mention his veteran leadership and savvy.
The Grizzlies making a switch here. Lights checked in. Atlanta also making some changes here. Splitter comes in for Al Horford. Hardaway is subbed in for Kyle Korver. Now the feed to Farmar. Carter outside. There's the triple. No good. So the Hawks will take it the other way.
And also, guys, Vince Carter is tireless in what he calls his old man workouts. I mean, keeping his body healthy and up to the challenge of the long NBA season. Not to mention holding on to some of that bounce from his younger days. Every now and then, he'll give us a little taste of Ben Simmons.
They get it again.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And, you know, time will tell how big a factor that becomes in this game, guys, but if you're the coaching staff, it's certainly a point of emphasis.
And VC in the second year of a 3-year deal, you know, he struggled to make shots last season. We'll see if this proves to be a bounce-back season for him.
Memphis shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight. Some changes for Memphis. P.J. Hairston comes in for Lance Stevenson, and it's Jordan Adams in for Carter. Chris Humphries has checked in for the Hawks. Cephalosha comes in for Kent Bazemore. Here's Schroeder. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
I guess even he has to miss one of those once in a while.
Hairston against Hardaway. Right, the pass to Adams. Memphis moving that ball around. Hairston kicks to Gasol. Memphis needs to get off a shot here. Here's Farmar. No good on the triple. And here's Schroeder. Pass to Splitter. It's Schroeder, top of the key. And the Grizzlies, a team that's dealt with their share of tough playoff losses. But, you know, you talked to...
we feel like we're a team.
One big reason why not them is what happened to Conley. Greg losing him in the playoffs last year was the biggest adversity they went through. Can you make a case that it just made them tougher, or did it really take something out of them?
You know, Kevin, it's really hard to say. A tough break, obviously, losing Mike, and I mean that literally as well. But their problems did set them back, and maybe they can be just as good as anybody else, but until they are, they're going to have some issues.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Atlanta.
Guys, they are dialed in from beyond right now. They didn't waste any time getting into a groove in this game.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
They've got Hairston. Brandon Wright is out there with Barnes. Then it's Conley, and it's Adams in at the 2. That's the group for Memphis to kick off the second quarter.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Last season, Memphis fell late and would end up with the 5th seed in the NBA playoffs. Only one of 2 teams to make the playoffs each of the last 5 seasons, along with the San Antonio Spurs.
Yeah, and they were a team that nobody wanted to play. Memphis drew Portland in that first round, and even though they were the 5th seed, they had home court advantage.
Teague against Barnes. And Teague, here we go. Millsap kicks to Cephalosha. That 3 off the mark. The Grizzlies trail by 12. Clark, they've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a little bit of cottonmouth here. Dry spell for sure.
Conley gets the bucket.
And every once in a while, he'll show up and give you some great moves around the hoop.
And watching Matt Barnes, he will do all the dirty work for you. He's an instigator, he's an agitator, and he's a team player, I think, at the core. Everywhere he's gone, you know, and he's played for a lot of teams, Greg, he's had that role.
It's a great point. I call him a glue guy. You know, he's not someone who's going to be a volume scorer or a smooth playmaker, but the game really is built on grit, diving for loose balls, taking charges, making hard fouls, you know, whatever it takes to help his team win. I like that line, antagonist. That's a very good way to describe him.
Conley dishes to Barnes. Conley kicks to Carter. Feeds to Randolph. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
For Matt Barnes, I really felt last season was one of his best. He was the Tony Allen type defensive guy for Doc Rivers' team. Did all the little things, and he was efficient. Near his career high for three-point percentage and a career low in turnover. That's not a sight you see very often. I mean, he has a great feel for that jump shot, especially when he's open.
Conley kicks to Randall. And stolen by Jeff Teague. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2. Michael Conley picks one up.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
And I know if I were starting a club, Matt Barnes is the type of guy I would immediately look for. He's that tricky enforcer who has just enough skill to hurt you with his game. So him, in my book, equals winner.
Out to Carter. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Barnes passes to Stevenson. Out of bounds. Atlanta will take possession. The Hawks leading by 8. Teague up top. Covered by Conley. Horford dishes to Teague. To the left side wing. Bazemore for 3. A rebound by Carter.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on you.
Teague against Conley. Teague kicks to Korver. Conley against Teague. And stolen by Barnes. To the paint. Stevenson kicks to Barnes. No one near Conley as he lets it go. And again, Memphis no good. The Hawks have gone 2 of 6 from the field in the second quarter so far. Teague against Conley. Teague, the pass to Horford. That's good.